pause for dramatic effect, okay? I'll wait till everybody's ready. I'm actually going to flip back to the objective. It's all the way at the front. Here we go. Here we go. Put a lot of slides in here. We are skipping a lot today just for the sake of time, okay? Okay, so our objective today is we are going to use exponents to name place value units and explain patterns in the placement of the decimal point, okay? So there's kind of two things going on here, separated by and, okay? Drew, could you do me a huge favor and could you close the blinds right there? Just that first set. Okay, so it should help maybe? Oh, and sorry, and the second one over there. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Okay, beautiful. Can you go when Emma gets back? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is learn about exponents and use them to help us with the place value chart. Okay. So what number? It's a 2-digit number. What number do we work with a lot in place value charts? Think about it. Don't say it. What number do we work with? Like this one is this much as big as this one, right? Think about it. Go. 10. Yeah, 10. Good job. Give yourselves a pat on the back. It is 10. Okay. So exponents that we're going to use today. Okay. We're going to really look at 10 a lot. Okay. I'm going to pause really quick. If you haven't yet, please write the date. Today is 8/19/21, and put lesson 3 at the top. Okay, just so we know where we're at. Penny?
I can't really tell what you're writing with the green on top.
That's okay. I'm gonna change it. But I'll actually change it now. So yeah, we're gonna put 10. Like 10 is like what we're focusing on today, and then just put lesson 3 and the date. 8/19/21. But thank you for telling me because that's important. Yeah, if you guys can't see it, please let me know.
Yeah, it's
Bunny?
So this kind of looks like it's moving to my angle. Is it actually moving? Why does it look glitchy? Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's moving.
It looks like
Yeah,
it's
it looks
glitching.
like it.
Alright.
It isn't.
It looks like the lights in.
Yeah, it looks like the lights in.
Like there's blinking right now.
Okay. Well, okay. That's okay. We're okay now. Okay, we are going to move on from this, okay? Can you go and look at that? Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about exponents in terms of 10, okay? And then we're also going to explain patterns in the placement of a decimal point. So you'll be able to see how a decimal comes into play with each number and like recognize the pattern in that, okay? So I'm going to try and get this down in like 20 minutes. I think we can do it, okay? So just stick with me through this and then we'll take like a little break, okay? So
I think you just went backwards.
a little bit, but then I started going forward again. All right, there we go. So this first part, you're going to be doing a lot of writing in your notebook, okay? So just be mindful. So okay, so right now, let me think really quick. Okay, right now, I just want you to put, you might have to add these two later, so be mindful of that, like keep space for that. But maybe turn your notebook sideways, okay?
So I should put it on this, like it looks like a calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so I should put my notebook on. Should I put it on a different page or on my own?
Yeah, like typically maybe start a new page for each lesson if possible.
Because I'm only writing like that.
But that's fine. I mean, then for today, just do a new page. Just do a new page for today. Okay, because you're going to want like a lot of room. So right now, I just want you to kind of make this. Okay? You may have to add these later, so keep space for these. But right now, I just want you to have this. So 2 rows of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And then, yeah, so 2 rows of 6 boxes. What's 2 times 6?
12.
12. So you should have 12 little boxes. Okay, so make sure you're okay. Yeah, so keep space at the bottom though. You may have to add those other 2 later. I don't remember what they're for, so it might come up later. But you can if you want. I think you'll have more anyway, but for this kind of notebook, you'll probably. keep your voices off for now, okay? No, that's fine. I mean, yeah, it's just for the box part. Then I'll do the pencil. Okay. Yes, that's good. That's perfect.
You want to start the 10 and the times 10 game?
Sure if you want, but we'll talk about it in a second. Okay, I'm gonna give you like 30 more seconds. Oh, we're doing great. Nice job. You will. You can do it now, or you can wait. It's up to you. Okay, and if you haven't already, on the far top right one, please write 10. Okay. And then next to that, we're gonna put 100, then 1,000, 10,000. 100,000. Okay, and then 1 million. So go ahead and do that now too. Like the way you guys are following along, working hard, nice job. While you're doing that, I'm going to pull something up really quick, just to check myself.
Can I sharpen my pencil?
Yeah, go ahead. So like quickly, okay, move fast. Okay. And then okay. Okay. Donate me. You are going to need that third box. Okay, I don't know what the fourth one's for, but go ahead and add one more row under that.
Dang, this was too big.
If you need to like erase a line or something, you can do that. Try and keep the voices down a little bit. Focus on this right now. No amiga gets back.
My pencil sharpened terribly. It's really low.
It's alright. Alright, did you add that third row?
Yeah.
Did you write all of these?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, here's what you're going to do. In the one right below the 10 in the middle, right here, please put 10 times 1. Because 10 times 1 is going to equal what? 10. Okay. You good? Okay. Alright. And then, probably guess what's going to happen next. I'm going to do 10 times what to get to 100? 10.
I'm guessing I know the next one.
Okay. I'm going to start you off, Luke. It's 10, then times what?
100?
Close. We're going to stick with 10s, though.
10 times 10 times 10.
Love it. 10 times 10 times 10. But that's going to be important later, so I'm glad you brought that up. 10 times 10 times 10. I'm going to give you a minute to fill in the rest with your group. I like a volume 2. Just stay kind of quiet like this, but fill in the rest with your group. Ready, go.
Times 10 times 10 times 10. The very next one is 2 times 10. So we're going to have another one times 10. Please slow down.
Love it, love it. Keep going.
You just have to do this.
20 times 20? No.
Yeah.
What would you do?
The last one is 6 times 10 would be 6 times.
Go ahead and write 20 times 20. Yeah. So, and then you would add in the 2 zeros after that. So what would it be? Be patient with yourself. Most
Could
people
be,
done by now.
I'm sure it could be like, it could be threes. I think it has to be odds.
No, it's tens. Tens.
Tens.
Think about place value chart, okay? When we move up on a place value chart, it's by 10, right? All right. St. Joseph.
Pray for us.
All right. So if this is 10 times 10 times 10, this one is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. 4 tens, okay? If this one's 4 tens, what's this one? 5 tens. So 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Okay, and last but not least, millions is how many tens? 6 tens. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Okay? Does yours look like mine? Kinda? Numbers wise? Luke?
I know another number you could use, but it'd take forever.
What?
1.
Yes, although, but it would have to be.
1 times 1.
But what's 1 times 1?
2. Oh, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
1 times 1.
2. Oh, 1.
So then 1 times 1 again.
Oh, that'd be hard.
So guys, trust me,
2.
it only works with tens. It only works with tens.
But then
Okay?
if you put 1 times 1, the next one, 1 times 1, 1, and then you have 2 ones, and you just keep going until you get to 1 million, but it takes like 5-ish years.
Okay, Charlie, yes?
Can I send it by how many zeros are in the thousand?
I was just about to ask you. Good. Okay. So Charlie, how many zeros are in a million? 6. And how many tens do we have?
6.
Good. Okay. Brooks, how many zeros are in 10,000? And how many tens do we have?
Oh, yeah.
How many?
4.
4. Okay.
4.
I wasn't sure. There was a lot of, so I wasn't sure what it was. Okay, cool. So, beautiful. So this is the only one where it's going to be times 1. Okay. So check it out. This is an exponent. Not the whole thing, but this little one right here is an exponent. So go ahead and write that in, and I'll explain it as we go along. Yes, Sunny.
You forgot a 10 in the 1 million. Because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Look below the 5th one you just counted. There you go. But thank you. Thank you for keeping me on track. Okay? So, 10 to the first power is our first exponent. And I'll explain that in a second, okay? 10 to the second power is our next one.
10 squared.
Yep. Then for 1,000, we have 10 to the third power, or 10 cubed. Now, I'm going to give you 20 seconds to fill in the rest of your group. Ready, go. He's like, what?
Eddie.
How dare you read?
Yeah, Eddie, this is like one of the best subjects.
Okay,
Multitasking.
St. John.
Pray for us.
Okay, 10 to the third. What's this one?
10 to the 4.
What's the next one?
10 to the 5.
Fifth. Fifth. Everyone say 10 to the fifth.
10 to the 5.
What's the next one?
10 to the 6.
Good. Beautiful. Okay, I know you don't know exactly what that means yet. Okay, but does that make sense? The pattern. Do you see the pattern?
No. Yes.
Okay.
I get it, because it's 10 times the zeros in the boom boom pow. It's 10 times.
Okay. Your time. Good. I know you've been gone for a while. So can we like focus in? Okay. Diego, kind of keep to yourself. Okay, Melina, you don't really need that right now, so you can put that away. Push forward.
No.
Okay. Alright. Cool. So right now, I want you to talk with your group for like 20 seconds. What patterns do you notice in this chart that we just made? Ready, go.
We don't even get the same
Yes.
We do 4 clocks, but that's 6.
No, that won't make sense. That does exist, but okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Crispy bacon. What's one thing you notice about the patterns here? Eddie, go ahead.
That it's 1 times 10 is 10, so 10 times 2, and then it goes on. So it's like 10 1, 10 2, 10 3, 10 4.
Good. Good. Although I'm going to pause you really quick just because I want to make sure our language is the same, but you're totally on the right track. We want to say 10 to the power of 2, not 10 times 2, because what is 10 times 2? 20, right? But yeah, we want to...
It's kind of like 10 and 10 2 times.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So it's 10 multiplied by itself twice, right? 2 copies of 10 multiplied together. This is 3 copies of 10 multiplied together. 4 copies of 10 multiplied together, right? So it's not 10 copies, or sorry, it's not 4 copies of 10, right? It's 4 copies of 10 multiplied together. That's the key part. We're multiplying 10 by 10 4 times, right? 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Or 5 times or 6 times or whatever it is. Okay? Okay. PBJ time. What's another thing you noticed? It can be super simple. Lily?
That it technically follows the pattern, like it goes up and up and up, and we just said it like
Good.
goes up.
Yeah, it just keeps going up, right? We could keep going on this forever. Forever. Numbers do not stop. Numbers are infinite. They keep going. So, in both directions, fun fact. So, yeah, so it keeps going, right? Good. Okay. Luke, what's something you noticed?
my question from before.
Okay.
So, you know how there's like millions, hundred thousands, and then when you get into the decimals,
Uh-huh.
and then it goes straight to tenths, is there like ones?
No, there's not. It goes straight to tenths. Why they named it that, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to do that research. But it goes to tenths. I know. I don't.
think like, I used to think like, if you have like, there's the decimal is the one.
No, I wouldn't think of it that way because the decimal has no value. It's just a dime. It's just a symbol.
Yeah.
No value.
So there's like no ones place?
No.
Just the tens?
No, just tenths. Yep. Because when we get past the decimal, it's a fraction of a number. So everything, and it was in our objective too, but every number that we work with, guys, okay, I'm going to be rethinking that seating situation. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Every number we work with, ever, always, forever, every number we work with is in what's called base 10. Okay? Base 10, meaning that every number is in some way, shape, or form is related to 10. that, and that's like a crazy like philosophical history thing that you guys can look into later of like why that is. But every number we work with is related to 10 in some way. Doesn't mean it's like divisible by 10 or a factor of 10 or anything like that, but in some way it's related to 10 because of the place value chart. Because the place value chart goes up by what? 10s, right? And it's not like ones is 10 and then tens is 20. That's not what I'm saying. I'm doing this with 4th grade right now too, so you guys might not remember this, and that's okay. But when we go up on a place value chart, each spot gets larger by 10, right? So 1, 1, right? If we had 1, 1 in a ones place, okay? If this was like a mock place value chart right here, okay? This is ones, tens, hundreds. 1, 1, okay, is equivalent to 10 ones, right? Or just kidding, sorry. 110, left, sorry. 110 is equivalent to 10 ones, right? These are not the same right now. But if I were to put 10 copies of that, okay, now they're the same, right? Because the tens place is 10 times bigger than the ones, okay? Maddie, you may go. Henry, question?
On the top, or like on the bottom part of the top, it's just like, it's saying like, on the one for 10,000, it's like 10, 4 times,
10 multiplied 4 times. You could say it that way. Yeah. So we're gonna move on, okay? But any questions so far on like what we've talked about? You guys seem a little out of it right now. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna keep going, okay? Because this is just the intro, so we gotta keep going, okay? But what I do want you to write underneath your chart or next to it or on the next page, doesn't matter, somewhere near the chart, I want you to write a couple notes of what we notice in these patterns, okay? So you can put like little dots to like write like bullet notes, right? So just put like tens, right? Tens is the theme here. Tens, right? We're working with 10 always, at least for right now, okay? So tens. I want you to write place value, okay?
Can you draw like a picture of a place value disc for abbreviation?
As long as you know that that's what it is and it's not like a dot or a period, yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna put a 10 on my disc.
So it, and then I also want you to write something like this. If it makes sense to you to write it a different way, that's fine. Remember, your notes are for you. I don't care how you write it, as long as it makes sense to you. That's what we're doing. Okay. So number of times you multiply, you put like a multiplication symbol, 10 by itself. So this is like an exponent right now. This is what we're working with. Exponents are this. They work with tens, okay? So we're talking about place value, and an exponent is the number of times you multiply 10 by itself, okay? Henry?
could you write like they're all even numbers?
Are they?
Yeah.
Up here, yeah. Yeah, is that gonna help you? I mean, if it helps you, yeah. You can write whatever's gonna help you. That's, yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, they are, right? Yeah, sorry. I was thinking, I thought you meant more like the exponents, like the physical exponents. I was like, they're not all even, but, you know, they do equal even numbers for right now. Right? Okay. And then it's important to recognize, like it says right down here, if you want to put this in your notebook, that might be helpful. Okay? 10 to the 0 power, okay, like it says down there, it's like a bunch of little stars. 10 to the 0 power is going to equal 1, okay? Because we're multiplying 10 to itself 0 times, so it's 1. I know that's confusing, but you will see 10 to the 0, and just remember that 10 to the 0 equals 1. So I would put that in your notebook as well. Okay? Excuse me. Any questions? Okay. All right, can I move on?
Yeah.
You guys still ready? Okay. Awesome. So, we're gonna practice this a little bit. Okay. So multiplication sentence using product of tens. Okay. So you're gonna be doing a lot of writing 10 times 10 times 10 today. Okay. So for the first one, okay, 10 to the 5th. How many times am I gonna multiply 10 to itself with 10 to the 5th? Go. 5. Okay, so it would be 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Okay? And yes, that is what you're going to write. The shortcut of that is this. Okay? So there is no shortcut. That is what you're writing. The shortcut would be this, and we're not going to write the same thing again. Okay? So 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Okay? And that would equal, okay? Who can look at their chart and remember? Olivia, what is it?
100,000.
Good job. Okay. And I'll answer your question in just a second, Donna. Kind of going back to what Charlie was saying. Okay. 10 to the 5th, right here. We had 5 copies of 10. How many zeros are in 100,000? Go. 5. 5 zeros, 10 to the 5th. 5 zeros, 10 to the 5th. See the connection? Yes? Okay, cool. Done.
Can we use our whiteboard for this so that we don't take up too much space in our notebook page?
You don't need to write this right now, unless you want to. Okay? Drew, you may go. Brady. What is 100,000 times 5? Yep. And that's, you're going to be doing a little bit of that today. So, all right. So then here, we can break this apart. Okay? So we can say that it is 10 times, now what is 100 in like this expanded form when we're talking about tens? What would I write, Henry?
10
Good, yeah, good. So it's 10 times 10 times 10, right? And you can even put parentheses around it if you want, because 10 times 10 is 100, and then we're multiplying that by 10. Does everybody see that? So then this also equals, this is just like a fun fact, okay? 10 to the what?
10.
How many pieces of 10 do I have right there? 3. So it's 10 to the what?
3 to the power.
Good. 10 to the power of 3 or 10 to the third or 10 cubed. Okay? There's a lot of different ways to say it, but 10 to the power of 3, right? So looking in your notebook, what is 10 cubed?
It's 10 times 10 times 20. It would be
Which is what I wrote, so what's the final answer? Product. 1,000. Okay? Everybody seeing what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Fred.
Wouldn't it be 110?
No. Because remember, it's going to just equal the numbers that we have on a place value chart. Okay? Because we're multiplying by 10. So there's the only thing that you could multiply 10 by to get 110 would be 11. Okay, and we're not working with 11, we're working with 10 right now. Okay? So 10 times 10 times 10 is going to be 1,000. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's 10 to the third, which means there's 3 zeros. So it's like 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay? Alright, so then here, let's split it up. Okay? So let's just look at 100. What is 100 in, so this is where it's going to get funky. Exponential form is when we write an exponent. Okay? So look at your chart. What is 100 in exponential form? Think about it. It's not 10 times 10. Okay? Think about it. Exponential form is when we write the exponent. Okay? So 100 in exponential form is what?
10 times 10.
10 times 10.
2.
Remember I said it's not 10 times 10.
No,
10 what?
2.
10 to the power of 2. Not 10 to. Everybody say 10 to the power of 2.
10 to the power of 2.
Good. Or 10 to the second power.
10 to the second power.
Or 10 squared.
10 squared.
Okay? So 2 as an exponent and 3 as an exponent have other nicknames too. The other ones don't. But 10 squared is for 2, 10 cubed is for 3, okay? But anyway, all right. So then 1,000, I want you to think about exponential form. It's right there on your chart, okay? Right there on your chart. 1,000, think of how many zeros there are. It's 10 what? Good, 10 to the power of 3. Does everybody see how I did that?
Yeah.
Okay, Charlie, what are you confused about?
I would be confused with 100 times like 7.
Where'd you get 7?
It's not exactly 7, but like a big number.
Remember we're just working with 10s right now. Just 10. There's just 10 all over the place. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, everywhere, okay? So, don't think about other numbers yet. Just ignore those for right now, okay? Right now we're just working with 10s. So, then if I were to break this up even further, okay, I'm going to write it down here. 10 to the second power, what am I going to write? 10 times 10. Okay, and that is being multiplied by what's 10 to the third written out? 10 times 10. Okay. So then 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Okay. Do me a favor. Add 2 plus 3. Ready? Go. 5. So it's going to be 100,000 again. Okay, 5 zeros and 100,000. We can add those exponents together to get 10 to the 5th and get 100,000. Okay? I know it's confusing because we're just talking about the same number over and over again. But this is going to help with place value understanding. Okay? So 10 obviously goes with the tens place. 10 to the first, goes with the tens place. 10 to the second, which is 100, goes with the hundreds place, right? So we're working with those place values, okay? All right. So then, we're gonna do one more on this little chart, okay? And then I'm gonna give you your problem set, okay? So 3.4 times 10 to the third. Everybody, look on your chart right now. Everybody, look on your chart right now. Look at what 10 to the third is, okay? And we're going to say that's standard form. So standard form is when it's written out not like this, but when it's written like this, like the product, okay? 10 to the third in standard form. 10 to the third, think about it. Look at your chart. The answer's right there for you. 10 to the third is what? Go.
1,000.
Yes, good. 1,000, okay? So 3.4 times 10 to the third is 3.4 times 1,000. It's the exact same thing, okay? The reason we use exponents is to make it shorter, okay? So after today's lesson, every time you see 100,000 or 1,000, you can write it as an exponent so that you don't have to write all those zeros, okay? If I wanted to write 1,000 or 100,000, but wanted to save some time, I could just write 10 to the 5th, right? Boom. Instead of 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? You see how it's helpful? Like exponents are helpful? Okay. All right. Beautiful. So, just like our homework last night, okay, now we can solve it. So now we know what 10 to the third is. It's 1,000. So we're going to solve it. So 3.4 times 1,000. When I multiply, the number moves a certain way on the place value chart. When I snap my fingers, point that direction. What direction do the numbers move on a place value chart when I multiply? That way. The numbers move that way. Okay? So keep pointing that way. Keep pointing that way. The decimal moves the opposite way. So what way is the decimal going to move? Good. Okay. So decimal is going to go to the right. How many times? How many zeros do I have? 3. Awesome, Oliver. Love it. Love the 3. That's great. Okay. So it's going to move 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. There's my decimal. What do I fill the empty spaces with? 0. 0. 0. So my answer to that is what?
3,400.
Close. It's not a point because the decimal moved. The decimal's at the end. So what do I need, Charlie? Comma. Good. Comma. So it's 3,400 is my answer to that. Any questions on what I just did?
No.
Okay, this is kind of what your homework is tonight. Okay, is taking it a step further and using exponents to talk about these multiples of 10. Okay, because that's what all these guys are multiples of 10, right? They're just really big multiples of 10. But you're going to use it to help with place value moving up and down. Okay, I'm pretty sure you will be dividing also, so you'll be multiplying and dividing. So you'll be moving up and down, left and right, all that. Okay? All right. I'm going to get you your problem set, okay? And we can kind of look at it a little bit together, and then we're going to move on, okay? Emma. Yes, ma'am. I already have it planned. Hey, gardening crew, can you come out, please? They know who they are.
Can we start?
And do you have to walk off?
Thank you.
Yes. Just like it's a lot. What's the first thing that you're doing? Name. Do you just put your first name?
No. Last name.
Just your last name?
No. First name, last name, and number.
Love it. I love it.
Number.
First name, last name, number. Good
Yeah,
job. Good job. All right, go turn it. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. Put your name on it. Miss Whit. I'm gonna be number 0. Okay. 0. All right. Sweet guys. So I'm just gonna. Here's what's gonna happen. Hey, don't get started. Did I say start working on it?
No one ever started. That's crazy.
With the whole thing? That's cute. Just gonna make it. Okay. Name Peter. Here's the plan, okay? I'm gonna go through each of them with you and just do one of each section with you. And then I'm gonna give you like 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, like 5 minutes to work on it, okay? And then we're gonna move on from that. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. Can you stay focused as best as possible during that time? Okay. So you're not going on without me. It won't help you to just speed through this, okay? So you gotta go slowly. Gotta work with me. This will help you this will help to avoid any questions in the future. That's why I'm gonna go through it with you. I know how to do this already, so I don't need to do it, but I'm gonna help you guys do it, okay? So number 1 says what? Go. Out. All right. Good. However, okay. So write the following in exponential form. Say exponential form. Okay. Say exponential.
Exponential.
Say form. Did I say scream that? No, I said say exponential form. Now say exponential form. Okay, I didn't say don't say it. Okay. Are you going home today? Okay. We're gonna drink some water and stuff? Okay. Okay. Keep me posted. Alright. Cool. So exponential form. We gotta make sure we nip this in the bud, okay? So when we see an exponent, we say 10 to the second power, not 10 to, okay? But you can say 10 squared, 10 to the second power, okay? 10 to the power of 2, okay? That's what we're talking about, okay? So that's the language I want you to use. I will correct you if you say 10-2 or 10-7 or whatever, okay? So just be mindful. It's not to make fun of you or anything, it's just I want to make sure you get the vocab right, okay? Charlie. No, that's exactly what you should say. 10 to the power of blank, whatever the exponent is. All right. So you're going to write the following in exponential form. So you're going to now take the standard form of it and change it into 10 to the something. Okay? 10 to the something. So let's look at 1A together. So it's 10,000. Do me a favor right now. Count with my pen. How many zeros we have in 10,000? Ready? Go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So it's 10 to the what?
Power 4.
Good. 10 to the power of 4, 10 to the 4th power, period. Okay? Let's look at F, okay? Count how many zeros are in 1,000 with my pen. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
So it's 10 to the 3rd times 10 to the 3rd. Now, we're not done. It has to be all, okay? Class, 3 plus 3, go.
6.
So it's 10 to the what?
Power 6.
Good. 10 to the power of 6 or 10 to the 6th power. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. Donna, you have a question?
No, I was gonna say, I'm like, is it 10 to the power of 6?
Okay. Not there yet. Remember, I'm doing like the whole group thing right now. Okay? All right. On 2, you're doing the opposite. So you're going to solve it and write it in standard form. Okay? This is what I do. It's super, super helpful. Rewrite the problem. Okay? So 9 times 10 cubed is actually 9 times what? What's 10 third in standard form? Go. 1,000. So it's 9 times 1,000. What's 9 times 1,000?
10,000.
Oop. 9 times 1,000. Go.
9,000.
Oop. 9,000. 9,000. Okay?
I said 10.
So you may have to also divide and stuff too. Okay? And that's the moving of the decimal. Okay? Moving on the place value chart stuff. If you need to use your place value chart, still do it. Okay? Don't be afraid to. Go ahead and do it. Questions on these first two? Charlie?
What do you do with one that has a decimal?
Just like we were doing last night. Move in the decimal. Moving it. If it's multiplying, the decimal moves to the right. If it's dividing, the decimal moves to the left. Okay? Use your notes. Use your notes. It's in there. Remember, I had you write it. That will help you. Okay? Henry?
Are we supposed to write these down?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing them with you. But, yeah. Okay? Melina? On 2 or 1 or 2? 2? Yeah. So 2C, whoever's making noises, please stop. Okay, 2C, we have 7,200, okay, divided by 10 squared. So Melina, look on your chart right now. What is 10 squared? Yeah, 100. So it's 7,200 divided by what? 100. So basically you're just replacing the exponential form with the standard form in order to solve it. And then after that, it's just like yesterday, our homework yesterday. So the decimal in a whole number is after the last digit, right? Even if it's a 0, it's after the 0. When we're dividing, the numbers move this way, which means the decimal moves that way, okay? And there's 2 zeros in 100, so it's going to move 2 times. You see now where the notebook is helpful? Because all the notes of all this stuff that I have memorized, but maybe you guys don't have memorized yet, which is okay. That's why the notebook's going to be helpful, okay? So the decimal moves that way 2 times. So 1, 2. So our answer is 72. Period. Okay? All right. I am going to move on, okay? Because I don't want to be on this too much longer, okay?
No, wait, Miss Witt, I need help with
I'm actually going to have you just do 1 and 2, okay? Just do 1 and 2. We'll skip the rest.